Now we have a another video by the Orthodox Muslim giving us some more divine miracles of the linguistic kind.
Goodness.
Again, just notice the leaps in conclusions, how he's going from unconnected premises to jumping to this conclusion that, all right?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you guys how the author of the Quran, who obviously is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the King of Kings, the Lord of the worlds. But on the outside, I'm going to show you how the author of the Quran is so intimately familiar with the text of the Torah and the Hebrew language.
Oh, if like the previous video and our rebuttals to it clearly showed the opposite. Allah does not have intimate knowledge of the Hebrew language, nor does he have intimate knowledge of the Torah. And if they say that the Torah that we have today is not the one that is talked about in the Quran, then everything he's about to say, by the way, has no meaning.
Exactly.
Linguistic miracles, God, done away with. What he's about to mention, God, is crazy.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys. And for those who get it and let this sink in, your mind is going to be blown.
So those who've already bought into the Islamic paradigm and have suffered from this sort of a entrenched belief where reason and logic cannot penetrate into it, then this video is for you. You're going to eat it up.
I'm going to blow your mind, okay? Because when I saw this, my mind was...
All that says is that he's entrenched in this and nothing from the outside can penetrate. The Islamic mantra is submit first, think second.
My mind was blown. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. Let's put it on the screen here, okay? Okay, all right. Fantastic. Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is relaying the story of Bani Israel in the time of Musa alayhi salam. He says, وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ وَرَفَعْنَا فَوْقَكُمُ الطُّورَ خُذُوا مَا آتَيْنَاكُمْ بِقُوَّةٍ وَاسْمَعُوا قَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَعَصَيْنَا. Which means, and when we took your covenant and raised the mountain above you, saying, so when Allah has given them their covenant, okay, he's given them their Torah. He raised Sinai, he raised the mountain above them.
Do they know what the covenant is? I don't think they have that conception in the Quran.
Yeah, they don't have such a thing.
Right. And last week, you remember that guy who came on, he was saying that the covenant is basically just outlining the prophetic vocation.
Yes. So he's and this is what they do all the time. They go and steal terminology from our book and try to appropriate it into their silliness.
Okay, they were under the mountain. And he told them, hold firmly to that which we have given you and obey it. They answered, we hear and we disobey.
This is not how the narrative is.
Exactly. So here's what he's doing. He's not telling us a miracle. He's trying to roll out of an embarrassment, an obvious mistake in the Quran. You know how you in where I come from, in our language, if you fall down, you pretend like you were doing some sort of move, right? And you try to play it off, right? So this is all he's doing. He's taking something that's obviously a clear mistake in the Quran, right? And he's trying to roll out of it. And in the process, say, hey, miracle of Allah. Bro, you're Allah screwed up, bro.
Yeah.
Following so far? Is everybody following? We hear and we disobey. Okay. Now, we hear and we disobey in the
can
Arabic.
Can we stop it right there?
Is سمعنا.
If let's say God appears to any of us and he gives us instruction, I don't know, 10 commandments or something, right? What are we going to say? God, we hear you, but screw you. We hear and we disobey. Who says this? But this is what Allah recorded in the Quran. And let's see how this little guy, this dude, is going to try to wiggle out of this. Let's go. Funny guys, bro.
Okay, here, let's just put here. It's سمعنا وعصينا. Right here. سمعنا وعصينا. So that's the Arabic for we listen and we disobey. Who said that? Who responded that way?
No one. No one actually responded that way.
Exactly.
Those words did not come out of their mouths.
Exactly. Here's what happened. Again, going back to what you were saying earlier, this dude is sitting with his leather from his wife. It was after she's done tanning. He's sitting there with the leather at the marketplace, hoping somebody would come buy his leather. And then while they're sitting there, bored and swatting flies, he hears them, the Jews in the booth next door. They're talking about God revealing the law. And the people saying, God, we don't want to hear this. We hear you, we'll obey, but we don't want to hear it directly because this is too scary for us. Speak through Moses to us, right? We hear, we'll obey, but from now on, don't speak to us directly, right? He hears all this, but his Arabic and their Hebrew just ain't jiving. So what he heard with his Hijazi head was not what the Hebrews were saying. Right. Continue. We'll see.
The Jews, they said, we listen, سمعنا وعصينا, and we disobey in the Arabic. Okay. Now let's go and see what they said in the Torah, in Deuteronomy. Let's pull it up. Deuteronomy 5:27. Look what they respond. They say, go near and listen to all that the Lord our God says. Then tell us whatever the Lord our God tells you. We will listen and obey. Hold on a second.
A clear contradiction. You better
Why
hold on a second.
did the Quran say the Jews said we listen and we disobey? But here in the Torah, the Jews say we listen and we obey. What's going on here? Remember, in Arabic, سمعنا وعصينا. We listen.
So I see the move that he's trying to make.
Yes.
This is so many leaps, it doesn't really make sense. First of all, they didn't speak Arabic, right? The Israelites, they genuinely said, we will listen and obey. They hadn't, after they said this, they hadn't yet disobeyed yet. This was Moses' valedictory speech before he died that he gave to all the people. Again, it's in the beginning of Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
And the Israelites talking about, actually, I think, let me read this just so that we get the context. I need to remove this first. Okay, cool. And Moses summoned all Israel and said to them, hear, O Israel, the statutes and the rules that I speak in your hearing today, and you shall learn them and be careful to do them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. Not with your fathers did the Lord make this covenant, but with us, who are all of us here alive today. The Lord spoke with you face to face at the mountain, out of the midst of the fire, while I stood between the Lord and you at that time to declare to you the word of the Lord. For you were afraid because of the fire, and you did not go up into the mountain. He said, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make yourself. So now he goes through the Decalogue, and then we get to which verse? 28. And the Lord heard your words when you spoke to me. And the Lord said to me, I have heard the words of this people which they have spoken to you. They are right in all they have spoken. Oh, that they had such a heart as this always, to fear me and to keep all my commandments. So even here, Yahweh is acknowledging, yes, with their lips, they speak a thing. And at that time, they mean it.
Yes.
Now, the rest of Deuteronomy assumes that paradigm, which is why Yahweh is giving them all the stipulations, the blessings, and the curses that would follow from their actions. And it is repeatedly stated, if you do these things, I will bless you. If you depart from me, all these curses will fall upon you. Now, if it had already been the case that they were disobeying, they wanted to disobey, and in their minds, they had already set themselves to disobey at that time, then all of this is rendered meaningless.
Yeah.
Forget all the stipulate. Let's just get straight to the cursing. But no, what they're saying here is they are saying, they're acknowledging, yes, I will fulfill my end of the covenant. Basically, I'm going to keep my part of the covenant. I'm going to buy into the covenant, the contract. God, you have given your side. I'm going to give my side. I'm signing it as the people. Moses did it. Now we as the people, we're doing it. So Moses, you go, you get all the commands and you tell us, we will hear and we will do.
Yes.
Let's see how. Yeah, sorry.
And the way that the Hebrew is in verse 27, 5 verse 27, is so similar to how the Arabic is in the Quran, but Muhammad misheard. And that's why the positive in the Hebrew is heard as the negative in the Arabic. And Goofball puts it down in the book and says, this is from Allah. Bro, you lying.
Yeah.
You lying.
And they have to make this all metaphorical in order to say that it's saying the truth. Right? Oh, they spoke these words, but really in the Arabic, they were confessing that they are going to disobey.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. You can't add that theological layer upon a text that's saying the opposite thing.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's see.
Maybe back up like 5 seconds and let him explain.
Oh, sorry.
And obey. Hold on a second.
By the way, that translation is a bit it's right in its meaning, but the text is more the listen part is the root word is shema, and obey, it's more akin to do it. We will listen and do it, and those things are two sides of the same coin. Right. Because the shema doesn't mean just we're going to hear it, but we'll do what we hear.
Exactly.
Again, so our text is actually playing on the words there. The Israelites were playing on the words there. It's like a double sealing it of the thing. We're going to hear it and we're going to do it and we're going to do it.
Yes.
It's not just mental intake of these words. We're going to hear, like we're going to commit ourselves to do it.
Like when you tell a child, right? Listen. Well, you're not just saying hear me, but do what I'm saying, telling you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's a good example. Yeah. You tell them, listen to me. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's
so
what
they respond, we listen, which includes the hearing and the doing, and then they re-stress the doing. So we listen, we hear and do, and we do. So they're emphasizing that they will obey.
are going to do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Why did the Quran say the Jews said we listen and we disobey? But here in the Torah, the Jews say we listen and we obey. What's going on here? Remember, in Arabic, sami'na wa asayna. We listen and we disobey. The Torah here it's saying, they said we listen and we obey. What's going on? Well, let's check the Hebrew. How did they respond in Hebrew? They said, وَسَمَعْنُ, this is Hebrew.
Sh-
وَعَصَيْنُ.
Yeah, by the way, va
It's a
sha.
sh.
It's not a sa. It's a sha.
Yes, yes.
Shamanu. Where we get the root. Its root is Shema. Hear, O Israel. The Shema. Yeah, he has to change the pronunciation in order to make it fit now.
Yes. So what the Hebrew said was actually that, right? And it's so close to the negative in Arabic. So Hijazi Arab, he hears, right? This is a Bedouin with no education. He's literally illiterate, right? He's ummi. He's illiterate. He
According
cannot
to their
read.
own testimony as well. So it's not
Yes,
like we're
according to them.
insulting him.
Yes. No. Ummi is their word for him. He
Yeah,
is ummi.
exactly.
Ummi means illiterate, uneducated, illiterate, unlearned, all of that, all of the above. So ummi hears another language which sounded awful lot like we hear, but we don't obey. And he writes it. This is not from Allah. This is from your convoluted hearing skills.
And then we have people
Comprehension.
coming in many, many years later to try and plug the holes.
Wiggle out of this, yes.
Yeah.
In Hebrew, وَسَمَعْنُ وَعَصَيْنُ means we listen and we obey.
Again, asinu. Not asainu. Asinu. Again, this is phonetics, by the way, the language there with all the graves and the accents and the dashes and stuff. It tells you how to pronounce the English letter. Asinu.
So the literal thing that they said is سَمِعْنَا وَعَصَيْنَا. The meaning of that in Hebrew is we listen and we obey. So they actually said سَمِعْنَا وَعَصَيْنَا. But the meaning of that was we listen and we obey. But in their hearts, they do not obey nor do they listen.
Hold on. Did he just say that the Hebrews actually said, we listen and we obey? He just admitted that.
Mm-hmm.
He just admitted to the veracity of the text in the Hebrew, but now he's going to do psychoanalysis of the guys who spoke and say, actually, they didn't mean that. They were lying, and Allah knows the truth. And Allah is going to now lie and say, they said something they didn't. Bro, they didn't say it.
You know, one of the biggest follies here is that the verse that he brought up talks about Allah making the covenant, right? This is the Israelites saying, yeah, we're going to buy into the covenant, as in,
Yes.
I'm going to sign it on my side.
Yes.
Yahweh signed on that. If what they said is true, the Quran's rendition, then Allah made a contract with the people who are violating it at the very beginning.
Exactly. So Allah is making a covenant with someone he knows is not going to keep the covenant.
Right from the get-go.
Yes.
Like, as in, from the Israelites' own confession, I'm not going to do it.
The very people who's signing the contract, not their children, not 1,000 years later, not descendants someday becoming idolater, but the people signing, he knows that they're going to violate it, and he still signs a contract. Allah's kind of slow.
And so Allah does this play on words. He has them actually saying verbatim, سَمِعْنَا وَعَصَيْنَا, because they actually said it in the Hebrew. وَسَمَعْنُ وَعَصَيْنُ, which means we.
But that means they hadn't broken the covenant yet. If part of the covenant was if the covenant was ratified based on disobedience, then they didn't break it by disobeying. The reason why our text works is because the Israelites said, we will obey.
Exactly.
Okay, if you're going to obey, here's the blessings that will follow. If you disobey, here are the curses that will follow.
Exactly.
This is the contract then. And then immediately after, Yahweh says, oh, that you would always be like this.
Yes.
In this state where you're willing to listen and obey.
And this may
It was
be
from
why. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
it was from that standard that they're deviating.
Yes.
Right? From that posture. But if their immediate posture was disobedience, they didn't violate anything.
Exactly.
They can't be punished.
And that may be why there's no covenant in Islam. Because there was never a covenant. It was violated before it was signed. It's
When you try to smooth out a bunch of lies, you're smoothing it out by adding more layers of lies.
Yes.
That's all that's happening. It's just it's a deck that's built on one small linchpin. You take that out, everything comes crumbling. No matter how much you try to bolster it, if the foundation is weak, it will always topple.
We listen and we
Absolutely
obey.
true.
But in the Arabic, it means we listen and disobey. And that was the true meaning of their intention in their heart, because they actually disobeyed and they did not listen. Ain't that crazy, chat? The author of the Quran is intimately.
Again, that just means Allah made a covenant with a bunch of liars at that time who lied by
Yes.
making the covenant.
Which
Allah got hoodwinked.
Yes, which implicates Allah. And from all angles that I'm understanding, it negates the covenant. There is no covenant. Which means Islam is correct. There's no covenant.
His whole system just does not make sense.
Which then means, yeah, maybe we're not children of God. We're just slaves.
Mm. It's crazy. Again, we're not saying that the Israelites didn't disobey. They did. They did depart from God, and God had to keep bringing them back, keep punishing them because they kept departing. But God could only do that because they agreed that they wouldn't depart from God. That's the whole point. But if at that moment they decided they were going to do it like he just said, then Allah has no reason to punish them.
Exactly. What right does Allah have? Because there's no covenant. They never agreed to anything.
Aware of the text of the Torah intimately.
So intimate that it's just over his head.
Aware of the Hebrew language. There's many other examples. My favorite examples are in Surah Maryam. Let me show you guys quickly. Kaf ha ya ayn
Hold on. Before, let's do an introduction. So, with this wonderful thing, a revelation called the Koran, right? This is such an amazing revelation. And it tells us that it's such a clear Quran. I think it's chapter 11, verse 1, or it could be 12, verse 1. But it says the Quran is such a clear one. Let me just look at it real quick. Surah Al-Hud. Okay. Chapter 11, verse 1. It says, Alif Lam Ra. This is a book whose verses are definitive and clear. This is why Mustafa Khattab named his translation Clear Quran. It's literally coming off of this verse, right? This is a book whose verses are perfected and clear in detail. Okay. Now, if that's the case, can someone tell us what the first three words of this verse means? Alif, Lam, Ra.
Or letters. Some of them would say it's just the letters.
Yeah, they would say letters. Okay. Let's say it's a letter.
What does it mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Then what does it mean? Right? Or you go to pretty much go to chapter 12, verse 1. Again, Alif, Lam, Ra. Bro, what does that mean? Right? And you go to the next chapter. Alif Lam Mim Ra. Bro, what is this? It's supposed to be clear. What is Alif Lam Mim Ra? And then he comes out with his chapter, and guess what? That also starts with something silly. And he's trying to explain those letters. Bro, it's in practically every chapter. It starts off with some, you know, it's recorded in the hadiths that when Muhammad would get revelations, that he would convulse and foam at the mouth. And his scribe, no, literally, I'm not even making fun of him, right? There's times where I'm just laughing because it's so stupid, but I'm just telling you, right now, I'm being serious. And his scribe would write whatever he would jibber jabber at that time. And I think that's probably what happened here. He probably just made random noises and his scribe wrote it down. Alif Lam Ra, right? And he wrote it down. It's a revelation. In fact, I think it's Amr. I got to go back to the hadith. I got to pull it up, right? I think it's Amr that called one of the companions and said, "Hey, look at your prophet. This is how he prophesies." And he looks and he's on the floor convulsing and foaming at the mouth. We call that a seizure or demon possession, depending on who you're talking to. But this is how the prophet of Islam got revelation. Oh, I'll have to pull the hadith and present it one day when we get to that topic. Right. So now that you know that not all, many of these chapters start with these random noises that he's probably making when he's convulsing and foaming at the mouth. Right. Now let's listen to what he's saying.
This is not what I'm showing you now, but have you ever wondered what these disconnected letters are?
Yeah, we have.
Nobody knows their true meaning except for Allah. But what is their implication? Did you know that the prophet Isaiah prophesied about the disconnected letters? Kaf, ya,
Bro,
ha,
he
ayn, sad,
prophesied that
and
his
alif,
prophet's going to be
alif, lam,
convulsing?
mim.
Bro, come on now. My prophet was prophesying
In
that his
Isaiah,
prophet was going to have epilepsy or demon possession. Bro, like
chapter
what?
28. The prophet Isaiah tells us about the disconnected letters that will be revealed in the Arabic language. But that's not what I want to show you today.
It just makes a claim without any proof.
Yes, sir.
Oh dear, man. I think he's talking about these verses, right? To whom will he teach knowledge, and to whom will he explain the message? Those who are weaned from the milk, those taken from the breast. For it is precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. For by a people of strange lips with a foreign tongue, the Lord will speak to his people. Aleph, Lam, Ra.
Yeah, right. And then he's going to go to verse 11 where it says strange lips and foreign tongue. Wow, that must be Prophet Muhammad. Now, here's the thing. He's actually correct. He's actually correct. And I'll show you in a few moments.
Shall I
What
continue?
he's saying is absolutely true. This is talking about Prophet Muhammad. Let him speak, and then we'll show you from here the verse that he brought that he's correct.
Or right now, I'm going to show you something else, something simple, but it's beautiful. Okay, look at verse 2. ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا. ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا. What is so unique and special about this, other than it being Kalamullah? Okay, look. ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا. This is the reminder of your Lord's mercy to his servant Zechariah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what does the name Zechariah or Zachariah mean in the Hebrew? Zechariah in the Hebrew means
Please tell us.
the remembrance of
You liar.
Yeah.
You liar.
We
you
already went through this.
Freaking liar. Say the whole thing. The remembrance. Bro, what but let him finish the sentence. I think he shoots himself in the foot.
the Lord, the remembrance of God. Look at this.
Wait.
play on words.
Wait. It means the remembrance of God. Right.
Yep.
The Orthodox Muslim goofball, he just admitted that Zechariah means the remembrance of the Lord. Well, kind of, sort of. What it means is, like we said earlier, Yah remembers.
He has it highlighted here as well. Number one, Yah has remembered. Zachariah, the name of 29 Israelites.
Yes, and that he equated to God remembers. So Yah remembers means God remembers to Orthodox Muslim. This is what I was saying in the other place, that Islam has two gods, Allah and Yah. How do we know? Because he just told us Yah is God. But they also have a God named Allah. Allah has 99 names. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Mumin, 99 different names, but not one of them is Yah. Okay, so Allah with 98 other names is one God in Islam. And this guy, Orthodox Muslim, just admitted that Yah is God, is God. He just admitted Yah is God. Okay.
We have
Now,
someone asking, how do you explain the linguistics of the Quran if the person was just foaming at the mouth?
I would
The foaming at the mouth
welcome-
is the explanation for the Alif, Lam, Ra, all of that
Exactly.
stuff.
But I think he's pointing to supposed miracles, linguistic miracles. I would welcome you to bring whatever it is that you feel are the linguistic accomplishments of the Quran. Bring one, any one,
Right.
or more, but at least one. Bring one.
The link
You're
is pinned
welcome
on the side chat, by the way.
You're welcome to join. So you have Orthodox Muslim clearly telling us Yah is God. There's no getting around this. Somebody clip this and make him super famous. This guy is no longer monotheist. He is a polytheist. He has two gods. Minimum, he has more. I'll explain that one day. But he has minimum two gods, Allah and Yah. Yah is my God. Yahweh, Jehovah, is my God. And he just took my God as his God. And then he also has Allah. Boy, we're gonna have fun with these guys.
This is the remembrance of your Lord's mercy to his servant, the remembrance of God, Zechariah. This is
The remembrance of God. So you have to acknowledge that the name of God is Yahweh. Where is that in your Quran?
Yes.
What name did he reveal to you guys? He gave you 99. Allah's got 99 names, but Yahweh ain't one of them.
play on words. This is intricate knowledge of the Hebrew language.
This is a blunder.
Now, look when he says, يا زكريا إنا نبشرك بغلام اسمه يحيى لم نجعل له من قبل سميا.
Wait,
قال
in that
رب
verse,
أن يكون
in that verse alone, he mentions
جعل
my
له
God
من
twice. Zechariah and Yahya.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, all of your prophets have my God's name. What you doing? What is you doing? I don't know what these guys are thinking. They keep
And apparently,
committing shirk. This is shirk. This is shirk. They have taken the name of my God upon their lips, and they're not allowed to. They cannot even read the Quran without committing shirk. What kind of funny religion is this? Yah is my God. Prove to me that Islam has Yah as God. Prove it. Open challenge to any Muslim. Show me that Islam has Yah, Yahweh, my God, Jehovah. Show me that that's the name of your God. It's game over, bro. How many times are we going to kick this ball out the court and they're going to keep bringing it back? Pack it up, bro. Pack it up. Take it home.
also, it says a name we have not given to anyone before. Now, does that mean Allah didn't name people or the name didn't exist before? Because we know for a fact that the name did exist before John the
Exactly.
Baptist. If he's saying that he didn't give anyone the name John, I mean, yeah. I don't know what theological implication that is supposed to give. If other people were called John at the time and the meaning didn't change, obviously.
Bro, I've literally had Muslims tell me, like, I would present a simple historical fact, right? Something simple as George Washington is the first president of the US. Something so undeniable like that, right? But I would present something simple and undeniable about the historical fact, something related to the Bible. And they would reply, yeah, that's just history. History can be false. Allah is right. Okay, if we take this away, right? His history is now wiped out. Then what do we have? What do we have? If you're going to tell me that no one else was named Yahya, John, or no one else this, or whatever claim you make, and then we counter with, hey, here's what it says clearly in a book much more ancient than yours, and you're going to come back with, yeah, but that's we don't take that. We take this, the Quran. What are we going to do with this conversation now? How do I move forward in this conversation when you throw out everything that the rest of humanity takes as evidence? When evidence is no longer evidence, and your circular claim is the only evidence accepted, then where do we go from here?
Gunner for Life says, so an unlettered / unlearned person managed to recite the Quran and you claim there is no complex linguistic style. Here, you're just assuming that it's a complex linguistic style. That's what we're calling into question. You are begging the question. Also, it says unlettered, unlearned person. This is according to Quranic testimony or Islamic testimony.
Yes.
What we are pointing to is if he is unlettered, it explains why the content is not complex or linguistic in style.
Exactly. The book a better book could have been written by a child. The Arabic grammar is horrible.
Right. And remember, the open challenge to everyone is produce a surah like it. And you won't be able to. Problem is, that's a very subjective standard. Yes. Who decides what is eloquent and beautiful? And how many techniques are used in the Quran to show its eloquence? Because none of your scholars can agree on that, by the way.
Stop singing the Quran and tell me that it's eloquent. Just read it and tell me that it's eloquent. Just read it straight, just like you read any other book. Don't sing it. And then tell me that it is eloquent, that is coherent, that it is historical, that it is scientific, that it is logical. I mean, it fails on every front. Name something that you could say, okay, let me judge a book by, and I will show you the failures in every category. Pick a category and come on, mic up, my friend.
It's interesting that the challenge that the Quran presents to the disbelievers, it has to do with aesthetics, its beauty, its eloquence. These are all subjective things. In other words, subjectively tell me, subjectively present something that is better than me. How, like, by what standard other than all the believers think it's beautiful, all the unbelievers think it's not as beautiful?
Yeah.
Oh dear. All right, let's get back to it.
يا زكريا إنا نبشرك بغلام اسمه يحيى لم نجعل له من قبل سميا قال ربي أنى يكون لي غلام وكانت امرأتي عاقرة وقد بلغت من الكبر عتيا قال كذلك قال ربك هو علي هين وقد خلقتك من قبل ولم تك شيئا قال ربي اجعل لي آية قال ربي اجعل لي آية قال آيتك ألا تكلم الناس ثلاثة ليال سوية أوكي فخرج على قومه من المحراب فأوحى إليهم أن سبحوا بكرة وعشيا يا يحيى خذ الكتاب بقوة وآتيناه الحكم صبيا وحنانا من لدنا وزكاة وكان تقيا. Now focus on this verse. يا يحيى, O Yahya, خذ الكتاب بقوة. O John, hold firmly to the scriptures. This is referring to the Torah. يا يحيى خذ الكتاب بقوة, and we granted him wisdom while he was a child. وحنانا من لدنا وزكاة وكان تقيا. Now, the verse means, O John, hold firmly to the scriptures, and we granted him wisdom while he was still a child, as well as purity and compassion from us, and he was God-fearing. Now, what verse in Isaiah 28? Should we go through that now? Okay.
Yes, please.
So this is the context. This is the prophet Isaiah. Okay, let's just pull it up here. Okay. This is the prophet Isaiah preaching the word of God. Okay. Now, he's in verse 9, he's quoting the Jews rejecting his message. Who is he trying to teach? To whom is he explaining his message? To children weaned from their milk? To those just taken from the breast? For it is, do this, do that, a rule for this, a rule for that, a little here and a little there. So the Jews are mocking Isaiah. The Jews are mocking Isaiah.
Wait, why did he stop?
Do you think we're children?
Why did he stop?
Let me pull it
Can
up.
I read the
because
rest?
Yeah, that's it.
So let's start at verse well, if you read verse 7 and following, it's talking about the priest and the prophet they're drunk and they're misleading the people. Verse 8 says, all the tables are full of filthy vomit, not even a single clean place. Then Here's verse 9 and following. It says, to whom would he teach knowledge, and to whom would he interpret the message? Those just weaned from milk, those just taken from the breast? For he says, order on order, line on line, a little here, a little there. Indeed, he will speak to his people through stammering lips and a foreign tongue. He who said to them, here is rest, give rest to the weary, and here is repose, but they would not listen. So the word of Jehovah to them will be order on order, line on line, a little here, a little there. Pay attention. That they may go and stumble backward, be broken, snared, and taken captive. So this order on order, line on line, little here, little there, is for what? Is so that they can go, stumble backward, be broken, and snared and taken captive. So if this is Prophet Muhammad and the Quran, what is the end result of Prophet Muhammad and following the Quran? That they may go, whoever follows Muhammad and the Quran, the verse that he brought, right? That they may go, stumble backward, be broken, snared, and taken captive. This is out of your own apologist's mouth. This is what the Quran is from. Exactly. He is absolutely correct. He that followeth the Quran shall indeed go and stumble backward, be broken, snared, and taken captive. It is the word of the Lord. Amen.
So Gunner for Life says even non-believers at that time knew the Quran was unique. But by what standard was it unique, though? Because every text that was being produced is unique.
He hasn't read the hadiths. If he read the hadiths, he would hear Muhammad complaining that the people of his surroundings were making fun of him. In fact, the poets and their children were mocking him for copying their writing.
Right. And then tips to take 104 says go to ChatGPT and keep the challenge there. Tell it to produce 3 verses of the Bible or any other book, then tell it to produce 3 verses that will get all the quality of 1 chapter, which is 3 verses. Where are you getting these standards from, though? And how many are there? Because no one of your scholars can agree to how many there are, how many techniques it's using. It'll just make stuff up.
Yes. For example, let's pick 3 of the verses that Orthodox Muslim just read off. Any 3. And watch me dismantle his Quran. I welcome you, my friend. Come to Mike. Come on stage. Pick any of 3 of those, 12, 13, 14 verses he read, 12 verses, whatever it was. Pick any 3 of those. Let's examine what Allah says there. For example, verse 12 confirms my book. O John, Yahya, hold fast to the Torah. Confirms my book. Hold fast to the Torah. So the Torah of Yahya's time, John the Baptist's time, is confirmed by Allah. We have Torahs that are 200 to 300 years older than the time of John the Baptist. And it matches my book, word for word. Right. So if my book is confirmed, then you're in trouble. Because your book is now dismantled. Because my book condemns your book. Right. I'm just reading any 3, bro. Any 3.
We have a prophet in the chat.
Instigating, be where you don't be what? I can't.
Prophet.
Bro, that's Quran. That's an ayah from the Quran, bro. He just, bro, the other guy, hey, read that chat right there. He just made Koran, bro. He just made
It's
Koran.
beautiful.
Alif Lam Ra. I'm gonna respond to that guy. Alif Lam Ra. Alif Lam Mim Ra. What the heck I said? I don't know. You don't know. Only Allah knows. But it's correct. It's from Allah.
No, that's not what they say, by the way. Not at all. He's speaking to the fact that these people, despite having the law and the prophets with them, would not grow up. They were still feasting on milk as if they were at their mother's teat. They would not spiritually grow. They would not derive greater things from the word that God had given them. They were still on the milk, not on solids. They refused to grow. There's some crazy stuff.
Bro, I'm still trying to decipher what he just wrote. In tasting in a bee where you don't be Arabic. I don't know, bro. Alif Lam Ra. There you go.
It's one of those guys Isaiah mentioned, befuddled with wine. They reel from beer. They stagger when seeing visions. They stumble when rendering decisions.
Repeat after
And
you.
then, like you said in verse 7, clear mistake, right? We're just picking a couple of random verses. Verse 7, it says, to none we have attributed this name before. Bro, there's plenty of people named John. Plenty.
They repeat after you, like that. And that's why they say, they're mocking Isaiah. What are you teaching children? What are you teaching kids? Okay? Now, this is what he says. This is how God responds. Very well then. With foreign lips and a strange tongue, God will speak to his people. To whom he said, this is my resting place, let the weary rest, and this is the place of repose, but they would not listen. So then the word of the Lord will become, do this, do that, a rule for this, a rule for that, a little here, a little there. What is this, a rule for this, a rule for that, that's going to come in a different language, where God is going to speak to his people in a foreign tongue, saying a rule for this, a rule for that, little here, little there. What is that? Let's check the Hebrew. God, in response to the Jews mocking Isaiah, God will mock the Jews back by revealing in a foreign tongue the following in the Hebrew. Sad, sad, sa, 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 la, sa, qa, laqa, qa, laqa.
Bro, quit it, bro.
This what?
My goodness.
What?
Saw. Bro, like
what?
He's trying to put the goofy in his Quran on my book, bro. He's trying to blame the goofy of his prophet on my prophet. What just happened here? Saw.
He already admitted that we
no.
don't know what Aleph Lam Ra means. We know what these words mean. How does this compare? Oh my word. This is just
rewind. I want to hear that goofy again.
God, in response to the Jews mocking Isaiah, God will mock the Jews back by revealing in a foreign tongue the following in the Hebrew. Sad, sad, sa, 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 la, sa, qa, laqa, qa, laqa.
What?
Disconnected letters. So God will revere, he will.
Disconnected letters. How are they disconnected?
Bro,
what?
Let's go to the Hebrew. My goodness.
They're actual words. I have, yeah. What?
He's trying to put his stupid Alif Lam Ra in our book, bro. He's trying to say there's Alif Lam Mim in our book. Bro, bring that kid here. What the heck am I hearing right now? Oh my goodness. Okay, Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter. My goodness. 28. Let me pull up the Hebrew. Oh my goodness. He's trying to put his goofy in my book. Fall.
They're not letters in the Hebrew. They're words.
Bro,
They convey meaning.
what am I hearing, bro?
Tell him to translate Aleph Lam Ra first. Because when we say Sa La Sa, actually it's
So,
Sa La Sa, it has meaning. Those are words.
yes.
We can translate it. We can communicate that. Oh,
Where
dear.
did he get saw from, bro? Oh my goodness. It's tsu, tsu, letsu. My Hebrew's
Let
decades
me.
behind. Ku, leku, ku, leku. Bro, like these are words. These are not random sounds like in his silly Koran. Alif Lam Ra. Nobody knows what that is. Only Allah knows. Okay, you got silly in your book. Don't try to bring that to our book, bro. What you doing? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. That's a tain and a vav, right? That's two letters plus the vowel sound. That's the word. This is not aleph, a single letter. You got stuck somewhere in the middle of your book. Aleph. Okay, what am I supposed to do with aleph? Allahu alam. Bro, that's not what this is. These are actually words. Sain and vav with the vowel markings. That's called a word. And it has a meaning. There's no Allahu alam in my book, bro. There is nothing in my book that I run from. There is nothing in my book that I run from. Let me repeat it one more time for you. There is nothing, zero, zilch, nada, nothing in my book that I run from, that I say, oh, you know what? God knows, I don't know. That's only in your funny book. Only in your book. Don't bring your mess over to my book, bro. What you doing? Craziness. Tall, tall, tall. Bro, slap that kid. What? Trying to make fun of my book. Bro, my book is holy. Wash your hands before you touch my book. Wash your whole mouth. Wash 10 generations before you touch my book. My book is from a holy God. Don't be jacking around like that, bro.
Will reveal in a foreign tongue disconnected letters.
What disconnected? Oh my goodness. Where is it disconnected?
Alif Lam Ra. That's where it's disconnected.
Mocking the Jews for them mocking the revelation of God. Anyways, that's interesting, isn't it?
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that was, I think, fascinating is the word I want to use.
Yeah, we got a couple of jokes out of this, but we got a critical concession. He just committed shirk. He admitted on camera, recorded on his own video, not ours that's doctored or Photoshop, whatever, video AI, none of that stuff. It's his own video where he says that Yah is God.
Remembers. Yep. God remembers. Yahweh remembers.
Amen. And we will remember too what you just said.
All right. I think we're coming to our time. If no one else is joining us on live. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining. We're going to do more of these. In the meantime, if you have Muslim friends, anything like that, that want to engage with us, let us know. We'll be happy to bring them up on stage. This is what we do. So yeah, I trust that you'll all have a blessed week. Take care and peace. PP, do you want to say anything?
Yeah. Thank you for joining. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned some stuff. There'll be plenty. I promise you, there'll be so much more to learn. Do join. Like, subscribe, share, tell others. We're just getting started, but I promise you, we'll bring the goods. Maybe we'll make it a little more enticing to our Muslim friends. Maybe we should allow them to tackle the Trinity, their favorite topic. Maybe we'll do something like that. We'll bring up the Trinity, maybe, and do a little teaching, and then let them bring the frontal attack. Let's go. Right. So, but thank you all for joining. Thank you. May the blessings of Yah, the true God, the one true God, may the blessings of Yah rest upon all of you.
Take care. Bye, everyone.